Hello, this is a video presentation about the organism I received, the green iguana, or by its scientific name, iguana. Here is a phylogenetic tree showing a few of the related species, only two of which share the same genus as the green iguana, the Iguana melanoderma and Iguana delicatissimus. A few other species closely related to the green iguana just share the same taxa to the family of Iguanidae. Shown are the Sarmalis adder, Cyclura nubula, Sonolophus pallidus, and Stenosaura polyrus. They all have the same taxa of order of Squamata, class of Reptilia, phylum of Chordata, kingdom of Animalia, and the domain of Eukarya. The green iguana has its own specific characteristics that places it into each of the taxa, more definitive while moving down the taxons. It fits under the eukaryotic domain, Animalia kingdom, and Chordata phylum. The class of Reptilia shows its anatomical characteristics of being ectothermic, a tetrapod, and a vertebrate. It is in the order of Squamata because green iguanas shed their skin in patches and have uniquely jointed skulls and jaws to catch prey, which are anatomical and physiological traits. For needing a warmer climate and being an omnivore, it is in the family of Iguanidae with its anatomical and structural features. It's in the genus of iguana for its anatomical features of having a three-chambered heart and having scales on its body. And finally, the species Iguana has spines on its back and tail for defense, is able to detach their tails to escape predators, a dewlap for mating and territorial display, and a parietal eye for light detection. All of those are anatomical, physiological, and behavioral characteristics. The green iguana has adapted to its environment in Central and South America and has some advantageous mutations. It has evolved a long way since the oldest ancestor of the lizards, Megachirella watchleri, 240 million years ago. One adaptation is their hind leg muscles and claws, which due to living in tropical rainforests, they developed a structural adaptation to grip branches better and be able to survive high falls if escaping a predator. Second is their color. Green iguanas aren't all green, they can also be blue, red, orange, brown, or black. Certain elements of the iguana's environments have made for more or less colorful lizards. For example, green iguanas that are red, such as the ones on the western region of Puerto Rico, are that color because of the amount of UV light they absorb from the sun. Iguanas with black scales have much darker scales because of how little time they spend to take in sunlight, and the black color helps absorb more sunlight over less time, but also help to hide better in dark canopy trees. This structural adaptation helps iguanas survive using color to absorb more sunlight, to convert to vitamin D, and to stay camouflaged from predators. They have adapted to have a photosensory organ on the top of their heads called the parietal eye, which detects changes in light and dark. The structural adaptation helps them know if a predator is lurking above. Another adaptation of green iguanas is that they have spines on their backs and tails to protect them and whip them at their predators, but also that their tail can detach itself. This physiological adaptation helps the iguanas escape because the detached tail would still be moving, causing the predator to focus on it, while the lizard escapes. Lastly, a behavioral adaptation of the green iguanas is regarding their mating habits and dewlap, the skin flap under their chins. During mating season, males can get defensive with others over territory, which they can use to attract a female, but they can also fight using head bobbing, extending their dewlap, changing their colors, and biting one another. These are all used to attract females in order to mate them by showing their dewlaps, colors, and territorial dominance. The dewlap specifically is a behavioral and physiological adaptation that has many uses, not only to appear larger in a fight or attract females, but also to help regulate body temperature and communicate with others of its kind. Now, these iguanas live in Central and South America, spanning over countries from Brazil to Mexico and even living in the Caribbean islands. The green iguana's ecological niche includes their eating behavior, regulation of body temperature, everyday lives, ways of reproduction, helping the environment as well as humans, and being food for predators. They primarily eat plants because they spend most of their time in tree canopies, but juvenile green iguanas eat more insects than plants, which helps maintain insect population like leaf-dwelling ants. Green iguanas are alone most of the time, but do come together when basking in the sun on rocks. They need sunlight and its heat to maintain body temperature of 29 to 32 degrees Celsius. When green iguanas need to mate, they also come down from trees, and after finding a female, it would lay eggs in sandy nests. A major impact that they have on the environment is because they eat mainly fruits and flowers, they disperse seeds throughout the environment, which helps more plants grow and be more diverse. Green iguanas are also prey for their predators and help them survive, but they're also useful to humans, like being able to sense environmental changes sooner than us, like cyclones, and it can help people to see their response and react to the problem. For the green iguana or iguana, there are 8 specimen records, 7 of which are barcoded. 4 of them are on public record, and 2 specimens were collected from Panama and Cambodia, one from each country. While the prey of the green iguana is primarily leaves, flowers, and fruits when adults, juveniles need more protein as they grow because their digestive systems cannot break down plant cell walls yet, so they feed off of bird eggs, insects, grasshoppers, and tree snails more. Juveniles will often also eat the adult's feces because they contain enzymes which help break down plants when digested. Some predators of the green iguana are hawks, eagles, owls, and other large birds. Humans are also a known predator as they eat iguana meat and their eggs, but also trade them as pets. The endangered status of the green iguana is least concerned, and even with their habitat loss, their numbers are still abundant. The life cycle of the iguanas start out from a group of 10 to 50 eggs in the sand, so predators don't find them, and to maintain temperature. They are then incubated for 90 to 120 days and hatch. The iguanas then grow to be adults having spines, a dewlap, serrated teeth, and their distinct color, and then they repeat the cycle. Some interesting facts about the green iguana are that it can stay up to 30 minutes underwater, and this is because when they need to escape a predator, they either hide or jump below from a tree into water. The fact that they can stay underwater for so long is a selective advantage of escaping a predator and being able to hide from it until it would leave. Another fun fact of green iguanas is that when they hatch, they have a special tooth called the carbuncle, which helps them break out of their shells but later on falls out. Studies found a selective advantage that made iguanas who can turn bright orange more are more likely to attract females for mating. Last fun fact about green iguanas is that the protein found inside them is more valuable than that of cattle, and scientists think that their meat would give more meat than cattle farming does, while only using about 70% of the energy that chicken farming consumes.